We'll call this meeting of the Committee of the Whole to order at 6:27. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Allen,
Here.
Mayor Murphy,
Here.
Mr. Miller,
Here.
Mr. Doherty,
Here.
Mr. Delph,
Here.
Mrs. Witt,
Here.
Ms. Marcus.
Here. The next item is the approval of the minutes from the Committee of the Whole meeting on July 23rd, 2026. If nobody has any corrections, they will be approved as they are. Hearing none, they are approved. Finance Director, did you have a report?
No, I don't. Thank you.
City Manager.
So I'll briefly touch on what everybody extended appreciation, thank you to. What I will say is I honestly think that the award wasn't so much about me. It was really a reflection of the city and the staff and what city council does every day. It has given Moraine kind of the notoriety of being a community that works well with their businesses and are always here to support them and make it easy access for their growth and their opportunities. So I really would say that this award belongs to everyone here and not just me. Thank you.
Mayor Murphy.
I have nothing at this moment, thank you.
Law Director.
No, ma'am, thank you.
You weren't going to ask about adding an executive session?
Thank you very much, yes. I do have one thing. We have a need for an executive session at the end of this meeting with no business to follow for matters pertaining to the terms and conditions of employment and compensation of public employees. So what we would need is a motion to adjourn to executive session at the end of this meeting for those purposes, followed by a second to that motion and a vote.
I'll make that motion as requested by the law director.
I second the motion.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. And to clarify, we don't need a second until we get down to where we recess the meeting. That's where we need the second. I know it's confusing. I had to ask the law director myself. Okay, did you have anything else?
Now I have nothing. Thank you.
Clerk of Council,
Nothing, thank you.
does anyone wish to comment on any legislation on this agenda? We have none. We want to go into business. The first one is a discussion on the municipal building front entrance concrete repair.
Hey, good evening, guys. I just wanted to, last time we spoke, we were talking about an update on the front. Mike, myself, and Chris were in the middle of an investigation on seeing what was going on, what caused it, where are we at. Upon further investigation, what we found out was the construction company that we used to do the remodel on the building had subcontracted out to have some electric work done for the new pedestals that was in the contract for the remodel. When doing that, they bored electric conduit underneath the ground. When they did that, they went right through the middle of the drainage for the building. And the drainage of the building goes in the walls and goes down in the sidewalks through both sides. So when they bored through this side, they went straight through the clay pipe. I mean, it went so far in the middle of it that it went right through the band of the clay pipe. Couldn't have made it any. So fast forward, here we are. Chris put some man hours in. I think we did, the city itself, we have 420 man hours invested in this project that we didn't know that it was going to be a result from the construction. So All we knew was we were coming together as a group, Streets and us, to try to remedy this problem that we had. We didn't know what we were getting into. We just knew we kept washing out with gravel. So we started digging into this. Next thing you know, we figured out what the problem is, and it kind of just snowballed from there. We water tested it at this end, cleared it out. Next thing you know, we found out we were still plugged up. That's how we found out they had went through the opposite side. It collapsed that side. So then once you're digging, it just kept growing, and the problem just kept, it was the onion that just kept unpeeling. I don't know if Aaron's got the slideshow up there for you guys that I had presented. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background on kind of how it went, the pros and cons of this project, what can happen from here, the bids that came back, the timing of how this is all kind of played out. It's terrible timing, because we're at the point where if we prolong this too long, now we're into the Christmas tree ceremony. Now we're into we'll be canceling that. We've got 3 ADA ramps that are at this moment closed off. We have the whole front of the city building that's tore up, and it's a disaster. Sorry? The parking lot's a disaster, which is going to run into, if we have an early winter, the next thing you know, it's going to cause disruption when it comes to snow plowing. And this is just like, it's a storm that just brewed up so big on us that it's put us in an emergency type situation, I believe. That's my recommendation. You guys are more than welcome to handle it however you want. I'm just giving you my personal opinion, and me and Chris have spoke on this multiple times, and I think we have the same approach on it. I've talked to Mike about it. That's why this discussion is happening now. We're leaving it in your guys' hands to see how you guys want to handle this. I've got in the bid, or the slide that we're dealing with here, the slide has multiple sections on it to where it shows the bid comparison, current condition and stuff. Miami Valley site work came in the lowest. Mike was asked of me to bring back comparison on different ideas as far as, do we do a stamped concrete in the section of where the Christmas tree would be, which is the actual area of where all the gravel was. So now it would be to the point where, do we go stamped concrete? Do we do stained concrete? This would include new retaining walls that are collapsing right now. If you look outside right now, they're deteriorating the bricks that we have up there right now. This is more of a permanent solution. This is, the stamped concrete is a savings of about $19,000 if we go away from that. We can make it just all solid concrete, no design to it, no effect of kind of matching the building a little better. So we're giving you whatever options you guys would like to go with. This would be adding flower beds to the front. Really where, when you guys walked up, you could see like a concrete border that kind of went. That would be really where the retaining wall would go, and then you would have a place where you guys, I think, have the pictures in front of you. That is a rough rendering. That's the idea that we presented to the construction teams that came out and give us quotes. This was kind of me and Chris's idea of trying to get away from the gravel to do more of a permanent situation to where the tree's on level ground. You would have more of a holding area where you could have benches out front there that back up to the wall. You could make it more just presentable walking into the front of the building. I mean, the pros and cons. The pros, revamps the front, matches the freshly remodeled building. Major front entry improvements, and the infrastructure creates long-term cohesive finishes. it gets us out of the ADA worrisome problem that we're at right now, not having them 3 ramps open. Um, it's just an overall appearance thing that we revamped the whole front of the building. I feel like this kind of goes with what we went with on the front of the building. When I started talking, I was telling you guys about the construction company that created this issue for us, that kind of opened the can of worms on us. Me and Mike, we have spoken with Greater Dayton. They seem very receptive when it comes to trying to make this right with us. As of right now, we've responded to them with an email requesting a reimbursement of a $47,703. So we're hoping to try to eat some of that giant cost that maybe is a little bit of a sticker shock. Chris has got some kind of condensed to where it's easier for you guys to just skim over instead of part of the slideshow. It's a real quick kind of gives you a real fast idea of how you guys maybe want to look at this on a pros and cons standpoint.
Rocky, would any of this be covered by ours or Greater Dayton's insurance? Is that, and especially seeing the discrepancy in the bidding versus the reimbursement price?
So what we are asking for is what their damages cost. Sidewalk repairs, the drainage portion, the man hours that Chris's group, my group, the equipment time, the hours on the equipment. That's our ask right now of them. What goes above and beyond that is more or less what our recommendations are is, hey, we're in it. This is a once in every 20, 30 years. I mean, you can look in the history of the city of Moraine. The front of the building doesn't get changed very often. I think it's been changed like 4 or 5 times since the building's been open. So it's not really that we're trying to add a lot of money to this right now. It's just, is now the time, since the Band-Aid's been ripped off, is this the time that we kind of go with it? Because we are getting some of the reimbursement back, and instead of us paying the bigger chunk of the concrete, and do we do it now? I think that's where me and him we could put it back however you want. But this was kind of like opportunities here. Maybe it's cheaper right now to do it since everything's disturbed. Chris, you got anything?
I would just say that some of the reasons why we went with this decision is because obviously the tree, it's fell over on us twice out there. And every time that tree falls over, it's damaged. Trying to get that to anchor in that gravel is not good. With having a concrete area, I feel like also with it being rock, it's hard for anybody that wants to take a picture around the tree. They can't get right to the tree. This would allow you to get around the tree. And then also in this picture, I think you can see the loading zone. That would be taking out that one section of sidewalk there that's pretty much useless. And I don't know if you've ever been here on court day, but if FedEx or UPS or the Postal Service or anybody with the delivery shows up, we don't really have anywhere for them to pull over to unload stuff. So they're right in the middle of the parking lot. So that would give us that as well. And the only thing I would touch on is a lot of the work that went across the parking lot was stuff that we found from years ago that wasn't done properly, that once we touched it, it was like, do we just cover it up or do we fix this right? Or we're going to be addressing it again in a couple years. So, and it was an issue that we needed to fix because we needed to get electric to the Christmas tree. We needed to make sure that when we go to plug the Christmas tree in this winter, that it's going to come on. So I think that I personally think that this is going to be a lot better look for the front of the city building versus the gravel. The gravel, as you guys have seen, a lot of times it's hard to keep it contained into the flower beds. All it's going to take is one kid to pick a rock up and throw it against our brand new windows. Not saying that would happen, but it could. But I just think this will give us a better look. It's going to be better access in the front parking lot. And then also we've addressed a lot of issues that we've uncovered. I mean, you guys would be amazed at how many things we dug up out there that were just abandoned, that were never done the right way. wires buried in the ground that has been fixed in conduit and done the right way now. And it was some work, but I feel confident that going forward that we fixed a lot of issues that we're not going to have to deal with 3, 4, 5 years from now.
Well, my question is, had they not done the wrong thing, we would not be doing any of this. And I'm sorry, but I think that whole liability should be on South Dayton.
I would say that, like I said, us going across the parking lot stuff was fixing stuff that we needed to fix. I think that South Dayton would probably be okay with just putting back the sidewalk we took up and throwing the gravel back in the middle and making it look exactly like it did before. We just were kind of presenting this as we want to make it look better now that we're in it. You know,
Well, that is true. And
I don't think we can make them pay for, us improving it.
No, but they should pay, in my opinion, I'm not a lawyer, but in my opinion, when they went down, everything that happened, I'm not talking about the cosmetic work that you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm okay with paying for that. But all this other, I'm sorry, but I think they're liable, or should be.
Rocky could touch on it, but I think that we pretty much, the issue that was in the pipe we had to repair and the man hours it took
Yep.
for that, the equipment we had to rent, I believe that covers basically all of that.
Well, 50,000 doesn't sound anywhere near enough money for them to pay.
For us to pay a hundred and two, we're gonna pay 102,000 and they're gonna pay
50,
close to
less than
50,000. That's a big
No.
difference in the two.
Everything, the conduit that went across the parking lot, all of that had nothing to do with the building project. That was, Rocky referred to it as the onion that kept peeling. That was
Right. We
Chris's guys
understand.
realizing that, oh, wait a minute, we have buried live wires that have been electric tape bandaged and then put back in the ground. None of it was in conduit. So Rocky could probably break those costs out even more, but that whole piece of the project that falls into the 150 really couldn't be tied back to
No.
the work that was done on the
It
building.
was, I mean, we were dealing with, there were sections in the yard that once we got into it, was literally
I know.
house wire that you would have inside your house that isn't rated for underground burial. Wire wide open exposed. So there was no conduit. So even if it was indoor wire, they didn't even have it in conduit. And this was, who knows, this is 30, 40 years of problems that we just started. Once we got into it, it kept just growing. So we dug that out. Next thing you know, we found out that, oh, this is underground wire that is really house wire. So then that kind of was like, well, we really need to do this right, because if we go ahead and redo the front and put new concrete down, who's to say next year that wire doesn't corrode and break in half next year? Now we're tearing up brand new concrete that we just put in and redoing it all over again. So that was where that onion kind of opened up for us.
And Chris, can you talk a little bit, that's really what happened with the retaining walls going up the sidewalk once we crossed over as well, right? That they were starting to crumble and not be reliable
The over here.
on the opposite side.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. That was it's kind of like once we got the electric over there and we started to take it out, then we noticed that you guys can look at historical photos. That wall used to be solid all the way across. And at some point they decided to just cut an opening in there and put a ramp in there. And where they cut that, it started to deteriorate, and then the walls were breaking off. So I know you guys have noticed that when we went out to our events and stuff, those two little half walls didn't look the best. They were kind of crumbling, the corners were breaking off. But there was no way for us to get the electric, because the electric goes across the parking lot and then goes all the way to the pedestal in the
Right.
corner. There was no way for us to get over there without taking that out. So that was one of those things where it just kept going and going and going, and it just kept turning into a bigger project. So, and like Rocky said, it's just one of those things where we didn't want to come back next year and tear out brand new concrete or have to tear up the parking lot again. We could have just put the Band-Aid back on it and just said, we'll deal with this in a year or 2 or 3 years. And that's what we're trying not to do. We're trying to fix it the right way. We found a lot of people just putting Band-Aids on stuff before us. And that's what we're trying to fix. So, like I said, I believe the issue that they caused, could have fixed. Yeah, when we started digging up the pipe to fix it. We found issues from things that we had done over the years that were not right that we fixed. But I don't think they would have, I may be wrong, but I don't think that we could have held them responsible to fix the stuff across the parking lot and everything else.
No,
Just because they
No.
found it. But I get what you're saying. It's very upsetting that, we just finished this building and we thought we were good to go. And then all of a sudden, this is thrown on us and, it's
and they
just-
were negligent. The
Mhm.
company that the company they hired that
subcontractor,
came
yes.
in,
And I
And-
will
and
say,
we are-
they
they're
were
not running
negligent.
from the problem.
They're
I mean,
not.
they came to me and said, Mike's on the email chain that I'm dealing with these guys, and the project manager for this, he told me, and Mike can attest to this. If you don't hear anything or you feel like you're getting the cold shoulder, let me know. I mean, he is wanting to hold the subcontractors accountable on this.
absolutely.
And I think myself and Mike and Chris, I think we're all on that same page. We're all pushing
We'll follow
for,
through with it.
you need to make this right.
Absolutely.
Right,
And
I-
it's one of those that we're coming into, if we don't do this as more of an emergency type deal and we go out to bid on this, we're months out on when you go out to bid. You're going into, if we have an early snow, I mean, it's not abnormal for this area for October to have snow. Now you're dealing with Halloween. We're already, with the rain that we've been getting, contractors are so buried behind because they can't pour concrete in pouring rain. So now we're getting into that tricky, it's a terrible time that this all kind of came about. We're getting to that point where we're leading into, this would be a spring project and it will look like that till spring if we slow walk this. That's my concern.
So Martina, these are actually quotes that didn't go through the bid process. But what Rocky's inquiring about is, do we have the ability, knowing that it's not meeting certain ADA responsibilities and the safety hazards and dangers out front, do we have the ability to move forward under an emergency to have the project done?
Yeah, so I was looking at MCO 159.01 while Rocky and Chris were talking. So we have an exemption there for emergency contracts or expenditures, which it sounds like this would be. So if council agrees that this will be an emergency expenditure, they can authorize, we'd need a 2/3 vote of council to authorize it. So that means 5 out of 7 council members would have to vote to approve it under that section.
And then we could accept the lowest of the quotes that have been provided?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for us?
Well, you're asking for Miami Valley, but you gave us this one from Premier. So which one?
There's 3 here, Mayor, on this.
Mm-hmm.
I know
What?
on here, but we were given this and it was laying here.
That was given to you because it was not included in the packet. It was supposed to be part of the packet also.
Oh,
It was just an additional,
okay,
thank you.
Yeah, I actually
okay.
went above and beyond to try to get quotes. I went and got 4 quotes just because I wanted this to be as fair as I could be, as far as, let's get a broad number on this. Let's see where we're actually falling, to see if this one group is crazy on their price. And the next thing you know, we've seen them all starting to come back right around that same money. The only difference right now is, how far do you guys want to go with this? Do you want the stamped concrete? Do you want it to, or do you want just the regular concrete out front? Mike asked me about the maintenance involved in the stamped concrete and the stained. The research that I've done, and Chris is more of a concrete expert than I am, you don't have to do anything to it. All it does is basically, it's concrete. It is going to be concrete. If you want it to be a little bit of a sheen in that stamped concrete area, all it is us putting a sealant down on it once a year. And quite honestly, I don't think that's a terrible idea anyways, because of the amount of salt that we put out on the front of our city building because of the slip hazards. If we're in the middle of the tree lighting or something and we put salt out, the salt will just eat it up faster. So my opinion, if we do it, I think we do the sealant anyways.
Have we
So-
done business with this company before?
Yes, they're actually the ones that did the handicap ramp over at Civic Center.
Okay, because.
They did a
you
great
usually
job.
Tell us
Yep,
that.
yep.
Okay.
So Martina, they would need council if they took action tonight to move forward. It's probably, is it legislation for emergency and then legislation for a supplemental? Because this is not budgeted dollars.
Yeah, I think Annette and I were talking, you would need both of those. I would do them separately.
Well, I guess we gotta decide if it's gonna be concrete or stamped. That's the one thing before.
I prefer the stamp. Rocky, you're recommending the stamped concrete?
I think if you want to go for the wow factor, I think it's stamped. I think if you're okay with a standard concrete look, go standard concrete. I don't have a dog in that fight at all.
The
I think,
stamped-
do I think the stamped would look prettier? 100%.
The stamped concrete would be more durable.
Well, I think we can actually get, when we met with them, the guy said that we can actually choose the color of concrete that we want it stained to. So we can literally stain it to match the front of the building. I mean, it can be a slate gray looking stain. We can do more of the bronze looking that's on the front of the building. It's really, I mean, we can do multiple different ways on this.
The picture also doesn't show, but I know you guys noticed that when you come up the ramps, the block walls that are in the two that are deteriorating, that's replacing those block walls with the same wall that would be in the middle of that picture to match. It would be a poured concrete wall with like a finish on it. So that would get rid of that block wall that's deteriorating now that's going to need to be replaced as well. So it's really going to dress up the whole front of the city building, not just that center section. And then I think, talking to Lauren, the ADA ramps actually will be a little bit wider, and they'll actually be less steep than what is out there now, so it'll be a better fit. And like I said, and then adding the loading zone, I think is going to be a huge, huge thing. When Santa comes in the fire truck, he's got somewhere to park.
One thing I would just like to add, I was over here a couple of times while they were working, and the heat was miserable, and those guys working. So I want to just thank them for enduring all that heat and all the time that they put in, because they were doing a great job with the weather. But I told them that day, I said, I hate that you have to be out here doing this.
I think I can speak for both of us. We very much appreciate our guys. I mean, we ask them to do things sometimes that maybe is over their head at some point, but they tend to always try to step up and do what me and Chris asked our guys to.
And we appreciate them too.
Yeah.
I would suggest
Think
you
you're
do
gonna
the
have to-
supplemental first, right, to authorize the money before the emergency.
Well,
or
I think
vice-
first they need to decide on whether or not it's going to be the stamped or the regular. I think that's probably the first issue they need to,
You wanna just pull council?
you could do a voice vote on that if you want.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you ready for that now? Stamped or not stamped?
Stamped or not stamped. You can say I want stamped, or you can say I don't want stamped, and then, yeah.
Okay. Mrs. Allen,
I want stamped concrete.
Mayor Murphy,
Stamped.
Mr. Miller,
Stamped.
Mr. Doherty,
Stamped.
Mr. Delve,
Stamped.
Mrs. Witt,
Stamped.
Ms. Marcus.
Considering all we've gone through with remodeling these buildings, I think we should do the stamped and make it look right. So I say stamped.
And then I would probably vote on, Mike's right, I think I would vote on the supplemental first and then on the contractor.
I'll make a motion that we have legislation prepared for Miami Valley for a supplemental of $143,642.
Question?
I do have one. Rocky, this number is still locked in, right? Is it only good for a certain period of time?
This is a fairly recent quote, so we're locked in on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My question was, are we gonna add that 10% like we do sometimes
For contingency?
for inflation
you
or
feel there needs to be-
unintended?
I
Any
would
contingency?
recommend, I mean, we don't have to give it to them. It's just a safe bet.
With a 10% contingency?
Okay, with 10% contingency.
And hopefully we don't have to spend it.
Right.
No, that-
Okay. The motion includes the 10%?
Yes, motion
Okay.
includes the 10%.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes,
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. Now we need a motion for the emergency?
Is there a certain way they need to word that, Martina?
No,
Or
I
would
don't,
that or-
I don't think we need to vote on an emergency because the way the legislation will be worded is I'll reference that particular provision of the MCO. And then when the resolution comes in 2 weeks, we would just need a 2/3 vote of council, which is 5 out of 7,
So the resolution would be for
to authorize
authorize?
Miami Valley site work pursuant to MCO 15901.
I'll make.
Yes.
No.
Oh, no.
no.
No, we don't. Okay.
Okay, we're done with that.
Because you voted to move forward with Miami Valley, so I'll add that in the
Okay.
legislation.
Part of the supplemental.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, I thought you said you needed 2 votes. They don't need 2 votes.
No, they voted for the supplemental, correct? I was right, so I want to make sure.
Yes.
You voted for the supplemental.
With the 10%.
To choose Miami Valley site work,
I said Miami Valley, and I said the amount.
and then you voted on that.
No.
Under the supplemental, though. It all kind
For
of,
the supplemental,
that's why I'm saying, do they now need one to,
I tell you, why don't you just take a second vote?
Okay.
So the second vote would be, as I understand it, Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong, you made the motion to move forward with Miami Valley site work LLC at 143,642 with the 10%, correct?
yes.
Okay, so then that would be the second vote. that you take right now, correct?
Who made the motion
I did. I'm still,
for that one also? Okay.
yeah.
Mr.
Roll call,
Doherty,
please.
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
yes,
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes,
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. Okay, so now we'll move on to the overtime for the finance department related to income tax.
Yes, ma'am. The finance department is requesting additional overtime, primarily due to the non-filer letters and process that we've started. The non-filer letters have generated significant response. We've had a large turnout both at the counter and through phone calls and emails. At any given time, we have, and still do it right now, over 200 voicemails and emails. So we're still trying to get through those. The next phase of the assessment process will be mailing of letters with the assessment amount included, which we believe will continue to generate a significant amount of activity. The finance department doesn't typically budget much overtime. We've got 30 hours budgeted for the whole year, and we've got 4 hours of that left. Overtime is necessary to keep up with the regular processing, reporting, training, and the counter traffic, phone calls, emails, and document processing in response to the letters. And this has been all while other staff have also assisted as much as possible, including the deputy director. We will have a person starting in a couple weeks in the full-time position. We had some turnover in the position. But the person that's starting does have some internal experience. Will still require some training and more detailed income tax processes and minimal training on the finance side. The second phase must be completed in a 60-day time frame to allow for the final outstanding assessments to be sent to the Attorney General for collection. We're requesting $4,000 in overtime to cover approximately 10 hours per week for 8 weeks. The estimated savings as of right now in the full-time tax clerk position is about $5,900 in full-time wages. Therefore, we would like to reduce the full-time wages and increase the overtime wages by $4,000. And this does require a supplemental appropriation legislation to do that. So I'm requesting that we can prepare that legislation for the next meeting.
Anybody have any questions or comments on this? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we have legislation drawn up according to the finance director for the overtime.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes. That's it for business. Have anybody wanting to appear before council? No takers?
We got one more.
What? Are you on the wrong meeting?
I don't think so. No. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just wanna make
We don't usually have resolutions. Of committee as a whole. Okay. It was your turn.
sure I've been voting wrong. No.
Okay, we're going to staff and council reports. I'll start with the fire department.
Nothing to report, ma'am. Thank you.
Police department,
Just wanted to thank council for all the nice comments about National Night Out. We appreciate that. And also, we realize the flock conversation is an important one, that you may be fielding questions from residents. And I would just offer up that I would be happy to have an information sharing session about flock and its capabilities, to either confirm or disprove how we use it. And also the way that we can provide oversight as a department about how our officers are using it, and the audit capabilities we have to do that also. So if at any time that you wish to get more information, we'd be happy to help.
thank you. Street department,
No report. Thank you.
building maintenance,
Thank you for listening to my spiel. And I also want to congratulate Mike.
all right, thank you. Parks and Rec, I'm gonna hit you now.
I wasn't ready. I have no report. Thank you, ma'am.
Also wanted to congratulate Mike on his award, but no other report.
No report, ma'am.
No report. Thank you.
No report, thank you.
No report, thank you.
I have no other items. Thank you, Ms. Marcus.
Nothing at this time, thank you.
No, ma'am, thank you.
I just want to congratulate Mike as well, and also mention to you all that we are well underway in our budget process for 2027. So you'll be hearing more about that soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Allen,
No report, thank you.
Mrs. Witt,
I'd just like to say one thing about the flock cameras. Just today, they showed where a 3-year-old that had been kidnapped was rescued within 30 minutes because of the flock cameras. So keep in mind all the good they do.
Mr. Miller,
Nothing further. Thank you.
Mr. Daugherty,
No report.
Mr. Delph,
Just to remind everybody of the Parks and Rec Splash Bash nights this Friday, 6 to 8 at Wax Park. That's it.
thank you. I have nothing, so at this time, I would entertain a motion to recess into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Do we
I'll
have?
second it.
Okay. And that's why this motion is for matters pertaining to employment and compensation of public employees as requested earlier by the law director. So we'll recess at this time.
Can you take a vote, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have known that was going too easy. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Witt,
Yes.
Mrs. Allen,
Yes.
Mayor Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Doherty,
Yes.
Mr. Delph,
Yes.
Ms. Marcus.
Yes.